Perhaps when I was younger, I didn't truly believe this, but now, as my advancing years are beginning to show, I certainly am a firm believer in this principle. Winning solves everything. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. It is episode number 69, returning today with the season finale, with 3 games to go in the Serie and an amazing run. 7 wins in our last 8 games, and no losses in those 8 as well. Bologna, 8 clear of AC Milan with 3 to play, who we faced today in our final away day at the Serie. But before we get there with 3 games to play and an 8-point gap, we can be champions with our first game today. Well, like I said, winning solves everything. It has been a tough first season with Bologna. We had humiliation in the Coppa Italia. We were knocked out early in the Europa League as well. Supposedly Doxy's bread and butter, but it appears as though he is finally, at the 7th year of asking, going to win that first domestic honour. All we need is 1 win in our final 3 games, and I've won my first ever top flight championship. Let's get it here in our first and final 3. Lecture at home. Forza Bologna. Yeah, when I was younger, I probably didn't totally buy into the philosophy. Like I said, my mind was still free of corruption at that point. You know, I still, believed in a lot of different things I don't believe in now. But yeah, I think it's true. Like, it really does solve everything. If you can get the job done, if you can get over that finish line, if you can end up with the grand prize, all the things that came before, not remembered. It's this destination versus journey debate that is so hotly contested on social media, and most people try and sell it to you that it's the journey. It's all about the journey towards that thing. It's rubbish, absolute rubbish, mate. It's the thing you get at the end of it. It's like, I had this debate with one of my friends before. It's like, I don't want the struggle, I just want the thing. And believe me, I don't care if I don't have to struggle to get the thing. If I still get the thing, I'm still happy to get the thing, regardless of whether I struggled or not, I don't know. The world is starting to beat out that kind of, childlike sense of wonder I once had. I'm 32, nearly, in a few days. I've got to let it go. Yeah, if anyone does want to buy me a birthday present, it's Friday afternoon. How can it be Friday? What, I've got to wait until 3 PM so I can celebrate my birthday? What rule is this? It's Friday afternoon. Why did I say afternoon? Like the first 15 hours don't count. Yeah, Friday. 32 on Friday. Goodness gracious me. Where is the time gone? I remember starting YouTube as an 18-year-old kid. Didn't really know what I was doing. I still don't really know what I'm doing now. Oh, Sissoko, what a touch! But the finish leaves a lot to be desired. How on earth is it still 0-0? But I remember starting YouTube as an 18-year-old. Who would have thought I'd still be here? It's, again, 32 on Friday. Friday morning, midnight. But, 32 on Friday. 32 on Friday. Where are the years gone, eh? Kurcevic to Macedonia has his pass cut out. And, oh, come on, that is so unlucky. And his shot is expertly saved by Michel. The amount of ricochets to go back to the opposition. I mentioned this a few times now. I do think he needs to tone that down. If anything, favour the defender, not the attacker, as the benefit of the doubt is often given to the forward. Anyway, still tied at 0-0. Excellent save, and Lecture are fighting for their lives right now, down the bottom 3. And they need the win as much as we do. Them for survival, us for a championship. I'm not surprised. It's actually been quite a tricky first half here. Free kick, Kurcevic to take. He's a long way from goal. Now that is what you call a warning shot. That was very, very close. Off the bar. Oh, Cancelliere keeps it in play there. And Sissoko hits the side netting for the final kick and a half. Still tied at 0-0 heading into the break, but I can see someone winning this in the second. But even though we're on top and Lecture down the bottom, this could go either way. Hassan to Bellini. Offloads to Fabian, and Giovanni runs forward. He's got a man off to the right-hand side. Sarkisian, quite a few games, about a goal for him, and what a way to end a mini-goal drought. He was our player of the season pre-injury. He's not been the same since coming back, but he scored a couple, one in France, and now one tonight at the Estadio Renato Dallara, and it might be the biggest of the season, because it might be the title clincher. Tigran Sarkisian deserves the upgrade. And he's just belted in, arrowed in like Robin Hood, the goal that might well give us That first Serie A since the 1970s and 8th in club history. 30 minutes to be champions. The party has started at the Estadio Renato dall'Ara, and it is going to be, as long as we defend this attack here. Ref, full-time whistle if you don't mind. Come on, there we go. Championship number 8 for Bologna, the first in the new millennium. And finally, after all these years, I've got a domestic trophy. Come on. And what a response, man, honestly. Like, what a response from the humiliation in the Coppa Italia. Dumped out by a Serie B side in the quarterfinal. Early exit in Europe. To win 8 of 9 in the Serie A and not lose any. We deserve this, man. What a way to go and win it. I feel like LeBron when he won that first championship with the Heat, man. He had to leave the Cavs to get it done, man. Like, let's just be totally honest here. We all accept it. We all accept it. He was never going to win with those Cavs, man. He might have dragged them to a finals appearance in 2007, but he was never going to win a championship with Cleveland. He had to leave to find out how to win. And I feel very similar. I don't think we were ever going to win a Premier League with Ipswich. I just don't think we could ever get over the line. But coming to the Serie A, I felt confident we'd do it in 2 years. In the end, we did it in the first. Yet the first year of a rebuild. But what an end to the season it's been, as we've gone all the way with 8 wins in 9 to win the Serie A Championship. It is in the bag. And finally, oh, there's tears, man, holding that trophy. Finally, we've done it. I've got my first domestic honour and the psychological hurdle has been cleared. But we don't want to stop there, man. We definitely want to win more with Bologna before we leave. And let's try and end the season on a great unbeaten run as well. Yeah, we'll play the final 2, even though they're technically meaningless. Milan away in our final away there at the San Siro. 8 points clearing them. I'd love to finish the season as well and try and make a dominant conclusion by finishing double digits of the chasing pack. And let's start here with a win in the final away day. Milan at the San Siro. Forza Bologna. Yeah, you always remember your first. You know, your first love, your first championship. I mean, you always remember the first, you know, and it's always. I think it's always. I don't know if it's always the sweetest one, but it's always up there as one of the sweetest. And I love it when you see the emotions of players when they win their first, again, like major honour or Champions League, or, as you know, I'm a massive basketball fan, so first NBA championship. It's a great Instagram reel I've got of when Michael Jordan won his first championship in 1991, and he's just like, oh dear, he's just balling. He's bawling his eyes out. This is the great legendary MJ, but before he took over the world, and it's just like the raw emotion pouring out with tears, you know. And I've always wanted that for myself, you know. I've always wondered what would be the equivalent of that. As I'm always going to get hung up in the wind there. Mike was well off his line. I always wonder what the equivalent would be, you know. Marriage, home ownership, you know, like seeing the fact you finally got your first ever house, holding the keys, being in there for the first night. I'm on the subreddit First Home Buy or something, and it's great when you see all the pictures of people celebrating, you know. And I'd love to achieve something like that one day. I think that would probably bring out the same level of emotion for me, you know, the first time, you know, to be a homeowner. Can you believe it, after all the work getting it done? Or like I said, marriage, for example, like how that must feel when you're looking at the ring on your finger. Like, oh man. Hey, there's still time. I might be 32 on Friday, but there's still time. Al Horford didn't win his first championship. So what is he now? 39 last season in June. So there's still time for me. I ain't giving up just yet. I mean, seriously, just imagine how it must feel. Picture the scene. Paint it in your mind right now. Like you've just gone and picked up the keys from the estate agent after you exchanged the contracts. You get yourself over to the house. You pop the key in the front door. You turn the lock, and you walk in to your home for the first time ever. Imagine how that must feel after all the struggle and sacrifice and work and discipline. You got it done. It's yours. You own it. Incredible, man. And I pray every night, and I just hope I just hope there's still time. You know, I've been saying recently how I'm resigned to it never happening, but I don't know, I just pray one day, you know. Same with like marriage, the ring going on your finger for the first time. I know, you know, you've got the engagement rings, but you know, the I do's, and then, you know, going back for the reception. Just imagine, I just love the idea of just sitting there at the reception. You've got all your friends and your family and your partner's friends and families there. Everyone's enjoying themselves. It's your day, and you've got it. You found your soulmate. You are married. What those two feelings, man. I pray every night, and I just think, God, please, you know, please. I mean, I'm 32 on Friday. Please, man. I've waited a long time. Please tell me it's not too late for me. Please tell me it's still possible, you know. Please tell me I can still achieve these. Oh, it's gone in, those dream scenarios. Moses Hassan sneaks it in, and Bologna win with the final kick. Mike will want that one back, that is for sure. That should never have found its way in at the near post, but it does. And in a great debut season for us, he might win the assist title, he might drop short, but he's just scored the goal that sees us win at the San Siro. The title has already been confirmed, and we're ending with a dominant streak. Yep, let's go. Final game of the season, Lazio at home, where we're 9 clear of Milan. And I'd love to finish double digits clear of them to end the season off with only the 2 losses as well, if we avoid defeat here against Lazio. Moses might need 1 assist to win the assist title right now, level for the assist title, but for Michel between the sticks, he's already won the Golden Glove and set a new record as well. It's quite easy to keep clean sheets, I find, in this year's career mode though, so not an amazing achievement, but it is an amazing achievement to win the Serie A title. And we are just going to end the season by saying farewell to a few players such as Moro and Sonny. We finally got him a winner's medal as well, and he'll play his final game, at least for us, and probably in pro football too. Final game, Lazio home, Forza Bologna. I don't know how on earth we just won that game, by the way. I mean, I know it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but Mike, world-class keeper, somehow let that slip in at the near post. They will take it, but dear oh dear, awful keeping. Very rarely do you see a keeper make a mistake like that, especially at this level. But there we go, silent times. We say it all the time. It's like when things are going great, things like that just happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's so cruel that the universe works in that way, but it does. It's like, if you're really going through it and struggling, you need to be even better. You need to be almost perfect to stop things being as bad as they are. But when things are going really well, little helping hands like that, and that right there, that just happens when things are going well. It sucks that is the way, man. It's not fair. Like, the universe is so lopsided in that regard. When you're at the top, and when things are going really well, the energy, like positive things, just keep going in your favour, even if you don't deserve them. Like that winner at Milan, like that goal there. And if you're struggling, that shoe's always on the other foot. I never forget when Maguire, like, he was really going through a tough time at Manchester United. You know, really struggling. And I think it was someone in Europe, I can't remember who it was, but he came off the bench with like 10 minutes to go, and he scored like an own goal in like the 95th minute where the ball like hit him in the face and went in. It's like, it just happens when you're going through it. Like, it's so unfair. You'd think the universe would say, oh, Harry, you know, you're trying really hard. Things just aren't going your way. We'll give you a helping hand here. You know, come off the bench and you get a little bit of luck. But no, it's the opposite way around. When you're going through it, bad things like that, moments of bad luck, they just keep happening. It's so unfair, man. It really is. Yeah, the universe cares not for fairness, unfortunately. And oh, this will be it. This is the assist. Yes! Come over with me, Hassan. Come over with me, son. This is the unfortunate truth that the sooner you can embrace it in life, the better you'll be to, you know, be able to cope with the moments where bad things happen. It's unfair. Like, the universe is totally unfair. And it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to internalize it. But the sooner you can, and it's hard, I get it, it's really hard, because there's a great book called The Chimp Paradox by Steve Peters, Professor Steve Peters. Highly recommend it, really good. I don't understand all the things he mentions in the book, but the general principle is quite an easy one to grasp. But our chimps, our inner chimps, they demand fairness. But it's the human element of our brain that understands that's just not the way of the world. But the sooner we can calm the chimp aspect of our brain down, and say this is just the way things are, the easier it is to come to terms with it. Highly recommend it. I've listened to the audiobook a couple of times. I'll leave a link to it in the description as well. It's a great book. It's a really, really good book, understanding the inner workings of your brain. And there we go. That will do it. 2-0 win to end the season on an amazing run. I think, was it 9 wins in 10 to end the season off? Incredible finale, incredible run. And this is a deserved championship to celebrate as well. The 8th in Bologna history, Serie A champions, and my first domestic honour. We finally got it. And so as we take one final look at the championship with Bologna Serie A winners for the 8th time in club history, as you can see, a whopping 13 clear of AC Milan to win the title with only the 2 losses. To think we began with a 1-1 draw away at Cagliari, and I was like, oh well, this season just got to get in the top 4. In the end, won the title by 13 points. What a season. Only 2 losses all season long and just 19 goals conceded as well. So Milan, Napoli and Juve will join us in the Champions League next year, as Genoa and Roma, the other European sides, and Fiorentina in 7th. Top 10 wrapped up by Lazio. Inter recovered after a terrible start, finished top 10, and Torino as well. Bottom 3, Cremonese, Lecce and Hellas Verona. As for the individual awards, well, Coley won the Player of the Season and the Golden Boot. I believe that is Aubameyang's region. I don't think he was out of our academy, because I know he scouted Galway. I don't think he was out of the academy of Ipswich. But speaking of Ipswich, Delat was top 2 in scoring with AC Milan after joining the Serie A. And we did, to be fair, have a player in the top 10 ourselves. Sissoko with 15 and 20. Man, if he didn't have that 3-month layoff, I'm not going to say he would have won the Golden Boot, but I think he would have been top 3 for sure. But Sissoko in the top 15, so that was nice to see. And as for the assist title, it was indeed won by Moses Hassan. In the end, he did need one on the final day to level with another regen there, but it goes to Hassan for some reason, not entirely sure. Moses winning the assist title. Sissoko was in the top 20 as well, which was nice. And also for the Golden Glove, there we go, Michel, 24, new record in 38 games, and the big reason why we were Serie A champions. It's the cliche, man. Goals win games, defense wins championships. As for the other competitions, we'll start with the Coppa Italia. The humiliation kind of spurred us on to win the Serie A. Our knockout to Pisa saw them come up short to Milan, who ended up winning the Coppa Italia this season. The Conference League was quite an interesting one. Wolves made the semis and also the final as well, and went all the way to win it too, beating LASK Linz, the Austrian side, in the final to win the Conference League this year. We had a fantastic league phase in the Europa League, unbeaten and finishing in 3rd place, but unfortunately, we took on Lille in the last 16, and as we saw a couple of episodes ago, we're knocked out in the last 16, so I would not have 3 straight European honours. Lille themselves were knocked out by Wolfsburg, who made the final, but came up short to Villarreal. So Villarreal, the Spanish side, Europa League winners this season. And as for the Champions League, well, of course, going back in it for next season with Bologna, you might be wondering where Ipswich Town were, where they just about scraped the playoffs in 20th place, but were knocked out by our division rivals AC Milan. Liam Delap haunting his former team. Milan themselves, heading into the last 16, were knocked out by Bayern Munich, who they themselves were knocked out by Inter Milan, who they made the final, overcoming Barcelona, but ended up runners-up to last year's runners-up, PSG. Yep, didn't need me in the end. We picked them last year. This year, they have won the Champions League, beating Inter 2-1 in the final. And as for the other leagues around the world, starting with the second tier of Italian football, well, Sampdoria and Palermo are bouncing back to the Serie A, and the playoffs will be Sassuolo, Parma, Empoli, Brescia, Cittadella, Modena, and Spezia. I think, is that how many teams there are? It's a lot anyway, in the playoffs. I'd love to see Brescia get it, man. Seriously, Roberto Baggio's magical kicks. I would love to see them back in the top tier. And heading to the Premier League, of course, after leaving Ipswich Town, are they back in the Champions League? No, they're not. This often happens in career mode. You leave a team and they tank the following season. Arsenal were champions, 7 clear of Man City to win their 2nd in 3 years. Guardiola side 2nd, Newcastle 3rd, Manchester United 4th, Spurs 5th, Chelsea 6th, West Ham 7th, the top 10, Liverpool, Brentford and Bournemouth. And Ipswich couldn't even make the top 10 this season. Struggling without me in my year outside of the Premier League. And we do the EFL as well. Luton and Palace bouncing back to the Premier League, and the playoffs being Hull, Burnley, Norwich and Sunderland in this year's 2nd tier of the EFL. Wigan Athletic and Rotherham promoted in League One. Playoffs Huddersfield, Blackpool, Lincoln and Oxford City in the 3rd tier of English football. And as for the 4th tier, Carlisle United top, Wycombe 2nd, MK Dons also going up in the playoffs. Doncaster, Cambridge, Crewe and Walsall as well. And the team bottom of the English EFL this season, Chesterfield. No shocks in League One. It's a league and European double. PSG finishing on top, 19 clear of Stade Rennais. I could have joined them. I would have had back-to-back Champions Leagues and a Ligue 1 as well, but I'm glad we went to Bologna and managed to win their first Serie A in the new millennium as well. And as for the Bundesliga, 78 points, winning it by a point. Bayern Munich pipping RB Leipzig. Will we see that in real life this year with both teams off to really good starts? Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Man, I want Harry to do it so bad. I want him to do it, man. AZ Alkmaar, winners of the Eredivisie this season, 14 clear of Feyenoord in the Dutch top tier. And as for the Liga Portugal, Porto em cima, 1 point clear of Benfica and 6 clear of Famalicão, who finished in third place with Braga in fourth. And look at Sporting Lisbon dropping to 7th place. Might be the lowest I've ever seen them finish in a career mode. Clearly missing Ruben Amorim. As for the Scottish Premiership, at the end of the first phase, Rangers on top by a point. So as I always say, you've got to assume they ended up winning the whole thing, as you can't check the Championship phase. And as for La Liga, Real Sociedad champions. How about that, with Barca dropping to 6th? 2 years in a row, it has not been Real, Barca or Atletico. First time I've ever seen it. Last year it was Bilbao. This year it was Sociedad. Is the El Clasico dominance over, and of Atletico falling off as well? Times changing in La Liga and possibly in the Serie A as well. And we're then with 2 more, as we always do. The Turkish Super League, where Fenerbahce have won 4 straight now in this save. 3 clear of Besiktas as Mourinho gets another. Took him a while to get his first, but now he's won 4 in a row. And as for the MLS, as we know, just getting started. LAFC jumping up to the lead here. 1 clear of Atalanta United, who are still undefeated, and St. Louis are currently in third. Is it St. Louis or St. Louis, by the way? I never know which it is. And so, with one final look at the side to end the episode off, I've got to say, what a fantastic first season with Bologna. I said this year, I wanted to win something, and I'll be honest here, I really felt we'd go for the Europa League, or maybe even the Coppa Italia, despite my failings in domestic cups, but I didn't think we'd win the Serie A. I didn't say we needed to win something in our first season. We had to be top 4. In the end, we weren't just that, but Serie A winners as well. I love how we gutted the team out. We sold a load of deadwood. We cleared out players that are on high contracts and expiring contracts as well, and assembled a new core of Italian players and some great Italian talent as well, with the likes of Bellini coming in. And it was just a really awesome first season. It wasn't without our challenges. We had some big injuries as well. And again, big failure in the cup, big failure in Europe as well. But I love how we've laid the groundwork down for our first season. Sissoko, Hassan, Sarkisian, Michel, all coming in and establishing themselves as stars in the first season. A younger team, much younger than we took over. It's got that Italian core that we were looking to build as well. And it's only going to get better as well. And so for the new season, no doubt about it, we will need to make some improvements, but I don't think we need to make improvements in the back line. I'm pretty sure Michel's going to kickstart his growth after going up 3 since coming in from Crystal Palace, winning that Golden Glove and setting a new clean sheet record as well. He'd of course be staying between the sticks, and I said he would be ever since coming in. I think Pacho might be going though. He's still got 2 years left in his deal, but a lot of interest this season, and I have said I'm probably going to bring in Scalvini to replace him, so Pacho might be leaving in the summer. Kovacevic, of course, he'll be staying as our captain. Only the 1 goal all season long, but 38 games. I don't think he missed a game in the... No, he didn't miss a game in the league. I'm not sure he missed a game in Europe either. I mean, this guy was so consistent. And I said when we came in who was going to be captain, I gave it Kovacevic. I'm not regretting it. This Croatian centre-half is fantastic and still getting better. At just 24, but already 86 overall. Now we've qualified for the Champions League, I think we'll keep hold of Rico Lewis. I was thinking if we didn't qualify for the CL, I'll probably let Rico go. But since we qualify for the big time once again, I think we can keep him. I think we're big enough and good enough now to keep him as our starting right back. Moro, of course, is retiring, as we know. Zaluski, I'm not sure about Zaluski now. You might sell him in the summer as a 29-year-old. Been playing at left back all season long. You know, it's not his traditional position, but he was okay, to be fair. But I guess we'll see. 4 assists and 34, not bad, to be fair. But I guess we'll see. Tough first year for Koleosho. Only 2 goals all season long in 33 games and 6 assists as well. He wasn't great, but 26, still getting better. Not ready to give up on him just yet. I might look for a new star winger next season though, and ask Luca to come off the bench. I'm not entirely sure. And we might have seen Ferguson's final year with Bologna as well. We said it many times, ever since he left to join the Italians, he took to life in the Serie A like a fish to water. A big reason why Bologna have risen so much in stature over the recent years, but he's had interest from other clubs, including West Ham, including Ipswich. If a big CL club comes in next season, I might let him go because now he's 31. We are looking to make the team a little bit younger. Fabian came back, great season, 8 assists in 34 Serie A games, and his interceptions, mate, I tell you, I don't often include defensive highlights, but that stat, 86, feels too low. It should be 96. This guy recovered so many balls for me, man. It was fantastic. Great first season. And Cesar Casadei, I mean, this guy, he's been the unsung hero of the season. 31 games in the league, 8 goals from midfield and 3 assists as well on a free transfer coming in from a released Chelsea team. What a pickup. The first signing of the save since we joined Bologna. What a way to start. He was phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure he'll start growing again next year at 28. I wouldn't say he's done just yet. Bellini, 24. He's still going to get better. Right now, sort of like a squad CM, but still getting better. I do like him. And as for Sarkisian, gutted about the injury. He got off to this amazing start. He had like 7 goals in 13 games. The kid was flying. And then he went down with was it a broken toe? And once he got that, he wasn't the same player. He, of course, scored the goal that clinched the title for us. That was an amazing strike. But he was never the same player after the injury, but at 21 years old, he's still a kid. He's got a long way to go, and we're still a massive fan of this Armenian box-to-box. He'll still be starting next year no matter what. As for Urbanski, difficult one. He's technically homegrown, even though he didn't come through the academy as he signed as a 17-year-old, but only 12 months left in his deal. I can play him through the heart, I can play him on the wing, but we've got so many CMs, I'm not too sure, you know. It's the homegrown status that makes me think I should probably keep him, but yeah, he obviously started the season off with the injury on international duty, and when he came back, wasn't great. You know, I preferred Casadei, I preferred Fabian, I preferred Ferguson to him, so I'm not too sure. I'll have to assess the situation in the summer, but as for Hassan, one of our players this season, came here with me, 6 goals in 38 league games, but 12 assists, winning the assist title. And like I said, it's so frustrating. EA cap growth when they feel like it. Moses should be like 85 overall now, man. I mean, put it this way, it's like this is what frustrates me. It's like Moses is younger than Koleosho. He's had a far better season than Koleosho. I mean, far better. Yet Luke is still growing, and Moses isn't. Make it make sense, EA. I don't understand. This is when dynamic potential isn't working, but fingers crossed, touch wood, he will start developing for next season. As for Heung-min Son, he finally bows out of a major honour in club football, winning the Serie A. It was in Europe where he really excelled with the 4 goals in 7, but he scored 2 in the Serie A too. 38 years old, and the fact he averaged 1 goal in every 2 games with 2 straight. I never saw that. 2 strength. Oh, mate, that's embarrassing. How do you have 2 strength? 2. I've never seen it lower than that. He's a reverse Akinfenwa. Oh my goodness, mate. It's time. Hang him up and don't break your arm by undoing your shoelaces, honestly. Hang him up, but hang him up with a winner's medal hanging around your neck. Yep, Serie A winner. 2 strength. That's hilarious. Okonkwo's also retiring as well. And as for Raimondo, what a difficult season. To be fair, 6 goals in 23 in the league and 2 in 4 in the Europa League. It wasn't disastrous. Averaging 8 in 28, just under 1 in every 3. But it could have been better. It could have been better, let's just say that. But for the player of the season, no doubt about it, Amin Sissoko. What a debut year. 17 in 25, top 10 in scoring, plus the 9 assists in all competitions as well. And like I said, if he didn't break that toe, I'm pretty sure he would have been top 3 in goals in the Serie A as well. And I'm pretty sure as well, at 24 years old, whilst he's capped out for growth to end this season, he'll kickstart it in the new one, as he'll remain as our number 9. He had a phenomenal year, and he's one of several youngsters here that's just getting better, including this young Spaniard back from loan in the summer, and I do have plans for him as well. Will that spell the end of Raimondo? Well, I guess we will see, but that will do it for today's episode and the season finale of our 7th year of career mode, guys. So massive thank you for watching the first season with Bologna, where we had our first major domestic honour, one of the save. It took 7 years, but we finally got there in the end. And for the new season, we're back with Bologna, heading into our 2nd year at the Estadio Renato Dall'Ara, and our 8th for the save, where we're back in the Champions League with this team, and I'll be going for my 3rd European honour in 4 years and 2 Champions Leagues in 3. Yep, I'm going to try and retain that Serie A. I'm going to try and finally get to a domestic cup semi-final for the first time in a save, and I'm going for the Champions League. It might be our first time back in it, but I'm going to go for it next season. I'm not just saying semi-final place. Nope, I want to win the whole thing. Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for a brand new season of Career Mode with Bologna back in the big time very soon.